Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, and sadly it's not going to be Mustang related, it's going to be house related. There's been quite a few things that just kind of fell on top of me, and just with my schedule and working night shifts 60 hours a week, it's just been too much for me to get to the Mustang this week. With the rains coming up, a few things I found in the house, a few things happening, and so on and so forth. So this video just to give you guys a quick little update of what's going on, so you guys can see where I'm at, and I'll try to get to the Mustang next week. So let me show you what's going on, let me show you what I did, let me show you what happened, and then we'll go from there. And by the way, I did pick up some tools. I got an angle grinder, and I got this little belt sander grinder for spot welds that I'll be doing over here, so that's going to be pretty convenient, like especially areas like this with the lip over here. That's the only reason I got it, is so I can get to the areas like this, and there's a bunch of lips over here, over there. So I'll do this little sand grinder that I got on Amazon. It's a pretty sweet little thing. I haven't tried it yet. Well, I tried a tiny bit. Where I tried it right here, just a tiny bit to see how it works. It worked pretty good. And then I got this guy right here by Husky from Home Depot. So that's going to work pretty good on areas that don't have a lip. I also installed a reel finally right here for the compressor. So now I can pretty much use my airline for the air tools and deal with all this stuff and not worry about wrapping the hose around all the time. Plus it started cracking, as you can see right here, so it's not that great of a shape. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. So it's not that great of a shape of a hose, so I'm going to toss this one. Alright, now let me show you what's going on with the house. Now, this I replaced last year, this siding right here, because we downsized the window. It was a big window. It's about, I think, maybe to here, to the top, and then I think it was this wide, roughly around that size. So it was a pretty big window. That's for the kitchen. And then we downsized it to a smaller window because we were doing kitchen remodel and all that stuff, so it kind of worked out better. So we can fit more cabinets right here on this wall on the inside. This panel was white like that, but then I was poking at it and it just went right through. Like some of the areas were rotten right here in this spot. I don't know why. I'm assuming maybe because when I did remove the panel, the 2x4s on the wall were perfect, but it was just the panel itself was rotten. So I'm assuming there was cracks on the face of it, and the rain probably got into it and rotten it over time. So, and I do have to do this corner right here. I'm gonna silicone all this stuff, and then I'm gonna do it's a 1x1 board that's gonna go in the corner here, and then I'm gonna do the corner pieces as well, but I'm gonna silicone all the cracks first. And then I also started removing all the trim pieces around the window, around the corners on the bottom as well, because they were just old and cracked and going bad. And I started doing that because when I was changing the bathroom door, if some of you guys follow me on Instagram, I post pictures once in a while of little things that I do around the house, etc. So I was changing this door because we want to remodel the bathroom. The bathroom is still original 1987, but I made this door to open to the outside. Before it was opening to the inside, and the way they installed this toilet, I don't know why, but the door was pretty much almost hitting the toilet. So they had to install the toilet kind of in the angled way to not hit the door. So that's really interesting, and that's why I installed a new door, and it's going to open to the outside, so it's going to give it a little more room in the bathroom. So, and then when I changed the door, I wanted to install an awning on top of here, like a little cover above the door. So I removed this trim piece, which was going from here all the way across the house. I removed that piece, and I noticed there was some rotten right here. I'm gonna get that section replaced, put a Z-bar on top here, put a new piece right there on the bottom, so that's gonna be nice and good. The bottom piece is good, just the top little section is bad. I was gonna do this eventually over time, but I decided to just go ahead and rip all the trims off the house, because I don't know why they designed it like that, but it actually made it worse by them putting this fat 1x12 trim on the side of the house because the water was getting behind it. If the silicone cracked, then obviously the water would get behind it and it would rot in the house. And because it does have a Z-bar right there, the little metal piece, the flashing, that actually protects it just fine, and you don't really need a trim. But I guess in 1987 this was it was nice, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's when they installed it. But yeah, because of that, it started rotting over here. Because when I was removing this trim over here, I was gonna remove this stuff, and the panels over here, they were all just so rotten. I was able to push my finger through it basically. But good thing they installed good black paper, because the wood is nice and perfect. There was no rotten on the wood, it was just the siding was rotten. And then also this piece, that plywood on the roof, this section roof that sticks out right here, that was rotten, so I removed that, and I'm gonna have to put a new wood right here, new plywood, new shingles on top, so that's gonna be taken care of. And because I decided to go ahead and remove all the trim, I'm gonna go ahead and try to silicone clean up as much as I can. And there's a few rotten pieces right here that I'll probably go ahead and remove, maybe that much of it, and replace that with a new piece. Same thing on the corner right here, do a piece right there, so that's gonna be taken care of. It basically went bad pretty much wherever there was a trim on the bottom, or where the water was able to get behind it, like especially areas like this. Some of this might be just dirty and not painted, but like that's bad. And I'll just have to poke around with it with like a screwdriver and see if it's solid, it's solid. If it goes through, then it goes through. But basically my goal is to replace all the, and this is why it has been kind of crazy, because I work 60-hour weeks, nights, and it's hard to do all this stuff obviously. So I'll try to get some help while we still have a few days left before it starts raining. And we do want to paint the house. We're still deciding on the color. I did actually test out a color that we kind of liked on one of the sheds that I built. We wanted to do this gray with the white trim, but then we decided it's too dark. And then this other shed, we painted with kind of creamy color with the gray trim. But I think that's kind of sort of old schoolish, so we're not gonna do that. We're probably gonna do maybe, I don't know, maybe light gray color house and then darker gray trim. We're still playing with the idea, so we'll deal with that. Here's the dark gray that I tried on the house. Yeah, I think it's gonna be too dark because I did a dark gray and then the white trim section right here, but I think it's gonna be too dark. So that's the house problems that I was running into. And then while I was doing this, let me show you what else happened. Now while all that stuff was going on, I was kind of trying to be funny, and I was poking the wife and the kids. They were upstairs, so this is downstairs right now, downstairs bedroom, and wife and the kids were upstairs in the bathroom. And I tried to be funny. I took a ruler and I was kind of poking at the ceiling, you know, just kind of knocking on the ceiling to be funny. And luckily I poked right through the sheetrock, so it was just paper. And basically this is where the toilet is, and the toilet was leaking for probably 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know, it's been a while, and basically was dripping and leaking on the sheetrock. And I'm surprised it didn't go through the sheetrock. I guess maybe because I did a couple layers of paint on the ceiling, so that kind of held it in place. But yeah, when I poked at it, it just went right through, because there was just paper left in this area right here, in this circle. So yeah, that toilet part pretty much was a cherry on top. I had to go ahead and remove the toilet, clean all that up, put a new seal on. So that was a mess. There was a lot of buildup of brown slurpy stuff underneath the toilet, so that was something else. Picked up some siding, some 2x4s, some shingles for the roof, and first time using my rack on the truck, and it worked out perfectly. I mean, because I had to buy some longer pieces of wood, and it worked out. Those are 14 and 16 feet. So yeah, it fits on there pretty nicely. And also on top of all that chaos, there was a lady that passed away. She was 45, had cancer, from our church. I don't know her, but my wife knew her a little bit, and they couldn't find a florist, and they asked her if she can do the flowers, and she agreed. Even though it was so crazy, it was still, you know, it's one of those things that when that happens, you got to try to help out. And she had to go to San Francisco to pick up flowers and not sleep that much, but it's yeah, when it rains it pours, right? All right, so that pretty much sums this video up, all the updates to tell you guys what's going on. If you guys want, I'll give you an update on the house when it's finished and painted, so you guys can see what it looks like. Obviously it looks horrible right now with all this mess everywhere. The trims are off, the rotten areas, all that stuff. So I mean, that's you know, I'll do a quick little walk around the house, kind of like a before, and then later on when it's all nice and finished, I'll give you guys an update, maybe to show you how it pretty much came out. It's not going to be anything fancy, obviously, but it's going to look a lot nicer than it does right now. So let's do a quick little walk around the house, show you the whole thing, so you guys can enjoy this rotten house. Yeah, and then start next week. It's gonna rain, so I'm not gonna be able to do much of a housework, but I'll be able to do more Mustang stuff. All right, enjoy the video, and see you guys in the next one. See you.